YouTube hasn't come up yet.
It will when it's ready. It'll. Yep, we're going.
Yep, receiving your content. All right, we're live.
We are live.
We're live.
Welcome.
A little bit of technical difficulties. This is a
Shh, they don't need to know about that.
fucking complicated thing. You can see a few of our things up there in the world. Hashtag Collective is our podcast network. Silent Audio Labs is the studio. And you can check out all of us down the bottom on our various podcasting, Twittering, Facebooking, following on all those kind of things. It's good to see our fans out there and engaging with us. As you can see, the pod before we did a bit of a bogut. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Andrew. It's good to have you back. We lose the Bucks, yet we get the Warriors, so that's great.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And if you want to hear anything about Andrew Bogut and his time in the NBA, we did a career wrap pretty much 40 eps ago, I think. So
yeah. I'll link that on Facebook and I'll put it in the show notes below as well.
Cool. So that'll be linked up, so you guys can go back. And if you want to see what he's been up to in the off season, go to the Sydney Kings website.
Yep.
Also, you can listen to any of our Sydney Kings podcasts and check out the NBL app. For all your Bogut needs.
Yes.
Shall we get into some games?
Yeah, we've got a few games. We'll catch up all the way to the weekend. Anything to talk about before we get onto the games apart from Bogut?
Just LeBron being a bit of a child. That's about it.
Yeah, but we knew that. We knew who he was, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought he'd be a little bit more professional instead of having tantrums, but it seems tantrums are the thing of the way this week. Some hilarious, letting the ball go out and then just kind of passing it off and just walking the other way.
Did you? So he had that one where we let it go all the way into the front court and then just put up a shot and it bricked. And then he had that one where he let it go all the way into the front court.
And they got contested.
Just dribbled it out and then just went. Just gave it back to the ref and walked off. Did you see the one where Kuzma pushed him out to defend someone?
Yeah, I know.
It's just, and then even LeBron was just like, hey, what are you doing type of thing.
Yeah, but that just shows you your teammate.
He's hilarious. You're talking about a guy who came out with a cast on when he lost the finals last year. And then a week later, everyone was like, how's the wrist? And he's like, what? Nothing. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, it's a lot better now. Just the guy's a bit weird, but phenomenal basketball player.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Overtaking Jordan last game against the Nuggets as the fourth leading all-time scorer. Off way less shots, more rebounds, and more assists in that as well. So
Does he look really slow to you?
Yes.
And
he's 34. D-Wade could keep playing, but he's just like, you know what? I'm retiring gracefully.
Yeah, well...
And he signs a 4-year max deal with the Lakers. So we're going to see the slow Bron train for a while.
There's different things converging here, right? He's played a lot of minutes for starters, tons and tons of minutes to the point where, every season in the playoffs, you think to yourself, just tone it down a little bit, slow it down. But it still looks bad. It still looks like he doesn't have the energy to be in that intense mode anymore. The
latest news out today was he's going to be on minutes restrictions for the rest of the season.
But
it makes sense. They're not going to make the playoffs. I think that there's some young teams fighting for that 8th spot, and I just don't think the Lakers are going to be anywhere near, with Lonzo out, anywhere near ready to get there.
But does that, do you look at him and go, minutes restriction, that's going to be real good for him? And do you look at that and go, that's going to solve his problem? He's going to come back next season and look like he's got way more energy. I don't look at him and I just go, he's got no energy. He's
tired. He's had 15 years of just...
I know. And
playing 20 minutes a game and potentially not traveling for long instances might just give him his body the break it needs to go back next year when he gets his superstar and make a run.
But will that benefit him? I don't think it'll benefit his game. I look at that and I go, you've got too many minutes. Your overall level has dropped below where you're a useful piece in this team now. And then what does he play? No back-to-backs maybe next year. I don't see a path where he doesn't play all the games or as many games as possible and look at that absolute top level anymore, because
I think we've just potentially turned a corner this year where first big real injury, first significant time out of the game.
And I suppose maybe conditioning too from that injury a little bit.
He's not used. He's used to being in peak physical condition all year round. So being a bit deconditioned and potentially not having the pieces around him that he's happy with, just wanting to blow the team up, get rid of Luke Walton, get Ty Lue. That's the weird one.
Oh, yeah. And then Jason Kidd was another one. And then who's the Coach K? He wanted LeBron James.
Mike Krzyzewski.
Coach K to coach. It's just... But that was the one I was worried about, man. Like, watching him, he just looks like he's got no energy anymore to do that crazy stuff. Like, even go in off 2 feet for a layup, he just looked like he was struggling, man. And I don't know, like... Is he going to have to take 4 months off to fix that? And will that even fix that? Like,
who knows? Who knows? He needs time off. He's gone.
Like, he needs something.
Stem cells. He's gone pretty deep every run.
I know. It's something like 2 or 3 seasons or something he's added. Oh, no. Just over a season or 1.5 seasons he's added on to his body, basically, from going deep in the playoffs. That's how many games. But yeah, anyway, it's a worry, man.
It's always a worry.
We'll go Wizards Celtics, no Baines. We'll talk about the Celtics a little bit later because Baines came back. That's another team that had a little bit of a... But now they're on a little bit of
a comeback. But we'll move on to the Pistons and the Cavs.
Yeah.
New Aussie on Aussie crime. Some teammates fighting it out. Back fighting it out. Thon had 5 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists and a block, and it was plus 11. The Cavs obviously getting absolutely belted in this game. Delhi with 18 minutes. 2 points, all from the line, a rebound and an assist, minus 13.
And he's been playing well, actually.
He has. It's just one of those games. The Pistons have come good. I don't know.
Something's happened, man. And Kennard's playing like lights out. We said in the last episode, like, he's just looking fantastic.
Yeah.
Shooting lights out. It's like, wow, Luke Kennard, where did this come from? It's good. It's good to see.
It is. I think Dwayne Casey's a good coach, though.
I think he is, but you're kind of burdened with Blake Griffin. And it's...
You're burdened with the back down.
Do you set your offense up properly? Or what do you do with your offense?
You happily take Blake Griffin as Blake Griffin. Like, the Pistons aren't going to be a title contender in the next 3 years.
But do you think... Yeah, okay, in the next couple of years. But do they have even a upset hustle run in them? Or do they just exit in the first round?
Exit first round. That's really what it is.
We'll have to see because
they'll be playing the Bucks most likely. They'll be fighting for that 8th spot. They'll be playing the Bucks, and
some of the little things they're doing are starting to look like this. There might be something here. Andre Drummond's looking a lot better too.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Even Thon's assisting. Ish Smith's playing really well off the bench. Yeah. So maybe a little bit of a dark horse. No. Sorry, I couldn't keep that up.
We couldn't keep that.
But yeah, no, just smashing the Cavs. The Cavs obviously, 40 losses in their column, so they're definitely in the race for Zion. But we should move on to the Dubs at Philly. That was a pretty good game.
Pretty close in the end.
Bit of a frantic ending. Could have gone either way. There was some turnovers, some other stuff, and
Yeah, could have gone either way. Could have maybe some bad coaching down at the end, the stretch. But Simmons. One thing I have to say, his free throw shooting's looking a lot better.
Yep,
definitely ticking in the upwards direction. That means those points are raising. Philly getting more production out of him. He had 25 points, 5 from 6 from the line, which is something of note. 15 rebounds, 11 assists, so a good strong triple-double and 3 steals. Bolden, 12 points, shot well, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks.
I thought he played well, just had some foul trouble.
Yeah, I thought he played well. Look, they're missing Embiid. It's always going to be trouble. It's always going to be hard to win with Embiid. I think they went really close. Obviously, a clayless Warriors, so similar matchup to when they played last time. Nearly were able to do it, but just weren't quite in the end. The Sixers are still very disjointed. I think they've, obviously with Boban being injured,
and then without Embiid, like that felt like the lack of Embiid cost them that game. To me,
it feels like every game they've lost, the lack of Embiid has cost them the game.
Yeah, because and I wonder how long has he been out for? Like about 5 or 6 games now.
Yeah, 6. He's not playing against the Rockets tomorrow either. So,
that's got to be a bit of a worry, a little bit. But for the amount of the chunk of season that he played,
they're resting him. Really, I think he would probably play if he could. He's back training. And again, it's knee soreness, so there's nothing really. There's no structural damage there.
Has he had long-term problems with his knees?
Not really.
His feet mainly, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's his foot was the long-term injury and a few back issues. Actually, a lot of back's more of a problem. He's just a big dude. He's going to have those issues. The way he plays as well, he plays high intensity tempo. does a lot of twisting moves, a lot of
works
Euro
hard
steps,
too,
groin and things like that are going to go. Works hard, is and runs the floor quickly like a bull at a gate, and takes heavy contact as well from other big dudes. So he's obviously going to get there in a while. But unlucky with the loss to the Dubs. We can move on to Grizz and Mavs. Brokoff had some good minutes.
Yeah, they were just garbage time minutes, I think.
Yeah, good minutes, Grizz. 13 minutes. 1 of 5, bit disappointing. 3 rebounds, -5.
Yeah, he hit a nice wing jumper from about 12, 13 feet. It just, he's stuck on a team where you just need to use him by like stay out wide and just drive and kick him the ball. But in this team, there's no real, like, he's trying to do other things. Like, it's like Joe Ingles' problem at the start of the year where he's got to help, he's got to, be weak side help, he's got to rebound, he's got to do this and that. And it's kind of where his game just doesn't fit this Mavs team. Like, I think his game has more, but it just doesn't fit what the Mavs are doing.
It fits the Bucks.
But I think, it does, all the Rockets or something like that. But I think that the Mavs have just gone like, tank time, like that's it. Like, I think they've just pulled the plug on this season because the way they're playing, it's a mess. And I guess they've got the Dirk farewell tour to at least go, if Dirk farewell tour, like
they'll put bums on seats as the Dirk farewell tour.
And I guess I'd want to, like I said in the last episode, I want to see Brokoff get 15 good minutes a game. Like, surely they can find a spot in the rotation for him to get maybe 2 minutes at the end of the first and then 4 minutes at the end of the second or something like that. But seems he's only really playing garbage time, which is a shame. But then again, he's not knocking down shots, so what can you can't really do. But great teammate, great attitude. He's still working hard, so good on him.
Next, Thunders and Spurs, and without Paul George, the Thunder just look like
the
usual just turd. Russell Westbrook just putting up way too many shots, and stacking his stats as he always does. It's kind of ridiculous to watch how funny that is. But anyway,
do you reckon it's a conscious thing that he does?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. He really does play like that. It's weird.
He plays a lot. He holds on to the ball a lot, and as soon as he kind of gets his points, he's just like, all right, now I'm just going to pass. And the shot selection kind of dries up as soon as he got his 10 points. And then he'll try and take over like end of quarters. He's not that Russ anymore. He's kind of just a facilitator. And they all clear the space for him to rebound. Steven Adams is hardly any rebound. The dude's 7 foot. Yeah. He clears the space so Russell can grab the board. Well,
that's, good guy Steven Adams. He's a good bloke, isn't he? But it's rough,
That's not your job, Russ. Your job is to facilitate and score points, not to grab boards because you're only 6'4". So what's the point, kind of thing?
I think it was the Jazz game a couple of weeks ago, the epic game, the last episode, and I think he only had like 4 or 5 assists with about 5 minutes to go in the fourth, and he was just pinging these passes around like, I need to get my assists, and it's just like, do we have to do this, man? Really? 7 of 17 in this game, it's not the worst, 19 points. But the Spurs played really well, man.
It doesn't seem to me that Russell Westbrook is interested in the team. It seems that he just is interested in himself in the story of the NBA, not the OKC story.
Or it's an extension of, I want to do the very most I can to win this game, even if it means I elbow my own teammate out of the way and finish the game and get the accolades. It's a weird thing. Yeah. Harden's a little bit the same, but I think Harden of 2 years ago was way worse than he kind of is now. I think he's kind of accepted like, oh shit, I can't just do everything. Chris Paul was out and he did that, like basically grabbed everyone and just, I've got to do it all, everyone. And everyone, no worries. But they're that type of player, and that's the type of player where I just like, I don't like that type of player. No. Especially kind of watching the Warriors, you kind of get conditioned to these really humble,
no one's bigger than guys. No one's bigger than the team. And it is what it is. Next one is
Bucks Jazz.
Bucks and Jazz.
That was a good game, man.
Yeah,
dude. The start of this game, it was like 3 inside passes to Giannis, and the first one he just like pushed Gobert over like he wasn't even there, and Gobert like flew like 5 meters out of court, and then just bang, and I was just like, oh, he made him look like a toddler. And then the second one, like a real obvious push off that the refs didn't call, and then the third one he just kind of blew by him and dunked over the top of him. I was just like, oh man, it's brutal. But then they ended up getting some shots. It was in Utah. They kind of came back in the second and the third, and overtook them. And then Donovan Mitchell, man, like obviously, Joe Ingles, he had 32 minutes, 14 points. He was taking step backs in this. He had 8 assists again, that little pocket pass across the lane. He had a few step backs, which was good, got the crowd going. But Donovan Mitchell has these his shot selection where it's just on any other night,
like six guys just like traveling through the lane and the ball just kind of pops up and in. You're like, I don't know what that was about, but
on any other night, he could hit one of those 7 and you're just going, what are you doing? But he hit him tonight and it was like awesome. A bit weird. If she logs on the YouTube, she'll be able to hear him.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, it was mainly like Giannis didn't play that well in this game, even though he had 43 points. Like I was getting the sense of last year against Boston where it's like he's doing way too much, or like everything he's doing is such a high intensity that it just taxes him out and he gets a bit gassed. Yeah. And it just doesn't look sustainable, man. But if you're setting the table for him perfectly, then it looks great.
Yeah, it does look good. Just the right guys all around him to mop up the scraps and knock down the shots.
Yeah.
Or Brook Lopez just taking over games and shooting from pretty much everywhere. That's fun to watch.
He had a couple of, I think he was 4 from 4 at one point from 3 in this game. I think Brogdon's injured. He's got a little bit of a foot injury. And I don't think Bledsoe played in this game either. I think. But, you know, the Jazz got the win. The Jazz have been looking really good, so it's good to see them.
Yeah, definitely.
Move on to the Houston and Celtics.
Baines, the return of Baines.
He got torched.
Yeah.
Harden absolutely torched. But I love him, man. He's lost the ponytail, so the ponytail's gone. He's just full shaved head now. Shaved head and beard.
He's gone from Viking to
just
Jihad Jack.
I can't my head. But yeah, he came on and then Harden just blew by him and scored over the top of him, and then you didn't see him for like another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So yanked him off. But yeah, in a series like that against Houston, I think he's going to struggle because of his size. Chris Paul played all right, and Harden had 42 points and he fouled out late on. Eric Gordon shot the lights out. There's nights where he just cannot miss.
Yeah, he is like that as well. And it's annoying because some nights he's absolute chunkerific. But 32 points, 8 3-pointers.
Yeah, I think he was 6 of 7 at one point. He just couldn't miss. And then PJ Tucker was hitting shots in the corner. Even Austin Rivers was looking decent. But these travels, man, I can't handle it.
Oh, the step backs.
I want to ask you, what's it going to take, like in the wider sense of the league, what's it going to take for somebody to just start going, it's travel. Like, call it how it is. It's a travel.
You've got to stop doing that. An off season. Well, no, because the head of the referee has come out and made a video saying why it isn't a travel.
I saw that, yeah.
And so they can't. They've made this precedent.
Yeah,
but then they call it on Steph when he does exactly the same thing. That's what annoys me. It's a special treatment.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
It's because they're all looking at his arms, looking for contact. So no one's ever looking at his feet. Because he had this really bad one at the end where he was probably fouled as well up high.
Yeah.
They didn't call that. But it was just a blatant travel where he took 3 steps. Like, it's going to take one ref basically to start whistling like, and then he's going to get really upset, and then they're just going to keep doing it, and then eventually he's going to stop doing it. Because it's like, he's a phenomenal player too, man. Like, fantastic. But I'm like, do we really need to go to these lengths? Like, test every fucking rule?
Did we need to then justify that with a video?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Justify it by saying, it's mad.
Yeah, but then Luka Doncic started doing it, and then they're like, yeah, sweet, Luka can do it.
Yeah.
But like, no, Steph, you can't do it. That's trouble.
But some of his isolation buckets are just...
Oh, they're crazy.
You just
the side steps are the craziest one.
How does he do this?
Yeah.
And even some of the actual proper step backs where you watch a defender, he just takes his eyes off it for a split second, and he's just... And he's just like, just that tiny space to get it off. It's all he needs, man. It's phenomenal. But I hate the blatant ones where they just don't call it. They're just like, I don't know, I guess, maybe, no, whatever.
Okay, moving on.
Magic Cavs. The Cavs got a win.
Delhi
played actually really well. He shot a couple of really big threes in this game as well. It's good. Kevin Love, obviously, coming back. He's making him look a lot better. Sexton looked a lot better in this game too.
Yeah, Orlando are weird because they had a good run. They beat the Warriors. They beat a couple of teams, and then they just fall back into being their chungerific Orlando, where
they've got a catalogue. I think they've beaten Houston, they've beaten the Warriors, the Celtics, Philly. Like they've got a catalogue of all these just random wins against big teams and stuff. It's kind of, I think they beat Denver as well, maybe. But they're kind of just a point guard and some other like smatterings of other players away from being like a really good team. Like Vucevic is good. Aaron Gordon I like, but a lot of people aren't high on him. I think he can shoot the 3-ball, and his post game's not too bad. He's a
good chub power forward. Like he'd suit that kind of chub plug in play. He'd suit the Rockets very well.
Yeah,
suit the Rockets very well as kind of like a 6'9" chub power forward that can shoot the ball and is pretty athletic. But the Cavs with Kevin Love, it does make the difference. They're a different basketball team, and they kind of slot into positions a lot better.
Yeah, they run proper sets and proper plays and stuff that work. And even Sexton, like it opens up the floor for Sexton to act, because he's driving kick game and he's driving score game. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
He's got a good array of like stop, stutter, like, even like the lean back out jumper that he can do. He can get that off against these other teams. And then, Larry Nance is kind of like a carbon copy of Kevin Love, but like not as good, probably about 60% as good as
I'm going to say 50.
50% as good as Kevin Love. It's weird. And then Chetty Osman's been back. He's been playing pretty well. So I think the Cavs have got something. There's something there, but it still feels like about 4 or 5 years away. And they're going to have to like pull out some mad bits. Yeah,
definitely.
If Kevin Love stays.
He'll stay. I think they'll build the team around him. They have to. They really have nothing else. They're not going to attract another big superstar. They've really got to keep what they have, draft well, and build their team from the grass up. We'll move on to the Raptors and the Pistons. And Pistons took this in the overtime. Thonotron, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, 5 fouls. But
foul trouble.
There's always going to be foul trouble because he's a slapper. He likes to slap.
Loves these ones.
Blake Griffin, some good play, and a good win, taking advantage of Kawhi Leonard not being there. And the Raptors have had some bad losses lately. But again, it seems to be that season. They come out of the All-Star break and then the Bulls are winning, Atlanta's winning. Like all these chunk teams, the Knicks are winning a couple, the Cavs, and it's just like, just continue to tank like last year where Philly went on a 17-game tear because you were all crap. It's like, what's the point?
It's because all the big teams know that their work was done by All-Star. Like we've front-end loaded our season. We've got all our wins. We can take the eyes off the prize a little bit, have a little bit of fun, let the hair down, and suddenly they get these wins, and then they go, hang on, all right, let's get back on it, guys. Let's get back into the groove.
Yeah, because really you're just playing for a home final at this stage. Yeah. And, Philly isn't guaranteed. Indiana isn't guaranteed. And, at this pace, it's going to look like first-round Boston-Philly, which is going to be a cracker of a first round.
I think I did see a thing today that bracketed them currently where they sit. I don't want that, man. Boston-Philly.
First round.
No, I don't want that, man.
It's going to be a tough first round.
I want them in the second round or the conference finals.
Yeah.
Because I don't want either team to go out.
Yeah.
They're both really good teams.
Yeah.
I don't really want Indiana to just be like, we just scooched into the Eastern Conference Finals.
Or just chunked against LeBron for the second year in a row and he's not even playing.
Yeah, he's not even there, yeah. But yeah, the Raptors are, chugging along nicely. It'll be interesting to see with how they go in the playoffs with Kawhi this season. Move on to Mavs at Brooklyn, and I think this was the one where it was just like they were on the tank train hard, man.
Yeah, massive.
They were awful in this game, and
massive.
Even Dirk was getting shots up late in the game, and everyone was cheering, the entire arena. Yeah, he was hitting step back fades. Everyone was just standing there like. And then you hit a step back fade and the whole arena, man.
It's the all-star burst.
Fully. It was just bizarre and like really just to take some like 6 seconds to set up this weak like post up. Like they just toss the ball into him. The defender just kind of stands there and just does like and then he just shoots over him. Yeah, sick. It's just weird. It must be hard for Brokoff. Like he got a good steal in this game actually, and then kind of bricking shots, and he's just like, oh man, just
you got to take it. It's the Deng and Dell effect. You got to take what you're given and with both horns and both hands, and he's not doing it. But again, it's kind of how do you, if you're just kind of losing and taking silly shots, you're not taking things seriously. I don't know what the mindset is, but Dallas went from this exciting team to this. Yep, Dirk Nowitzki starting.
Yeah,
and everyone's clapping. Doc Rivers is like stopping the game a minute early and telling everyone how wonderful Dirk is. Cause
whoa! I'm gonna let you guys finish this game, but Dirk Nowitzki is the best power forward I've ever seen in this league. That's weird, isn't it? I watched that game and it's just like, this is so bizarre. It's like an all-star game. It's weird. But Brooklyn, man, look really good.
They do and they don't. Like, sometimes they just look like trash.
Yes.
Like, Jarrett Allen just like, yeah, my highlight is done for this evening. I've blocked someone very well, and that's me gone.
But LeVert played really well in this game, man. He looks like a beast, eh?
So it's like Joe Harris when he's on as well. Too, yeah. Spencer Dinwiddie's awesome. And D'Angelo Russell, man, that guy is definitely on the train for most improved. On the most improved train. Let's move on to the Nuggets and the Spurs. Good win for the Spurs. 13th straight loss to San Antonio. Yeah, obviously, they've got the wood on them.
They did come back from 21 points down, though, at the end.
Yeah.
Right at the end. I think the Spurs didn't score in the last 2 minutes 50 or something like that. It's crazy. But LaMarcus Aldridge just kind of destroyed Jokic. I was a bit like, wow. What's going on, Jokic? You running out of puff or something? Like
Yo-puffed,
yeah, man. That's weird, eh? Like, because he's a mad player, but still towards the end, like he had a couple of just crazy dimes where I think he got an offensive board and then just like on the turn, instinctively under the basket, just turned and fired this like round two guys pass. I think it was to Murray in the corner, and like he couldn't have even seen it. Like he brought the ball down, was looking this way, yet just fired this pass out to Murray out there because he knew he was there. It's like, oof, man, his passing is insane.
It is insane.
Aldridge played really well in this game. Jamal was good. Jamal Murray, was a bit poor in this game, really.
Paddy, some plus 15. Yeah. Good night.
He played well, 8 points. He had a mad steal under the bucket too after a made basket. They made a basket and he just ran in and stole the ball and just laid it in after a made. That was pretty good. Hit a couple of good threes.
They're so lazy on the inbound.
Even us on a Monday night, I hate that when we just give the ball up straight away in our own side of the court. It's the worst. But yeah, good to see Spurs. The Spurs are starting to kind of shake back into life again, which was
hopefully they're really sitting kind of precariously there. Any loss of a run of losses may end their season very prematurely.
You look at Sacramento. I think is in behind them. I think
they're 6 games back,
and then the Lakers. So it's kind of like.
Look, I think I'd like Sacramento potentially. I think they've deserted. Like they're a young core group that have played good, fast basketball and just haven't quite held it together for some big games.
I want the Warriors to play the Spurs, but I don't want them to play Sacramento because there's a chance that they might upset that, eh?
Yeah.
Because they're so fast and just crazy, but they don't have the experience. So
that's it. Yeah, it is it. Not as full strength Warriors. We'll move on to Pels and Jazz.
Yeah.
And the Pels, again, win randomly for some reason with Anthony Davis playing 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Loss for the Jazz. Jingles had 8 points, 4 rebounds, 11 assists, but 7 turnovers. They just win random games. I don't understand. It's
weird, eh?
Yeah, and then
But Randall actually played really, really well. Randall played like, I don't care, I'm just going to play hard tonight. And
he's a good player.
He was getting in the lanes, which is that step-up guy on the pocket pass. He was getting, that's what Ingles, I think he had two or three steals on Ingles. Stepping up on that pocket pass. When you've got two bigs that are able to stop that, then that's when, you're getting in front of guys and, stopping that. We haven't heard anything about Dante Exum, really, have we?
He's still out to be evaluated.
Still got foot
ankle
problems.
It was rolled worse than they expected.
It's a bit of a worry. I mean, there's only 20-ish games left. So.
I don't think we'll see a lot of him before the end of the year. This is another year really destroyed by injury.
I think he had 30-odd games.
Yeah, 30-odd games to start the year, but really...
It's a worry, man.
It's a worry.
But they're not...
He's got his contract, so it's not as if we're not going to see him in Utah Jazz colours. He might be a really good addition to a team like the Magic.
Yeah, they're not pressed for time on him. They've made the investment, and he's not getting crazy injuries, like he snapped his leg or his whole shoulder popped out and severed 2 tendons or something like that. Like,
no, it's kind of like
unfortunate little things, like big enough to be unfortunate and annoying, yet just small enough not to be like, ooh, career threatening.
Yeah, exactly. Like a rolled ankle.
Touch wood, hopefully he comes back and has a good final. Should we move on to Magic at Philly?
Yeah, it was a good win for Philly. Ben Simmons 4 from 5 from the line again. So again, that's on and up. They were stuck in a bit of a slump. JJ Redick got a pep talk from his wife and played
Lego with his son. That's so JJ Redick.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. I like his podcast actually. It's a good podcast. Ben Simmons, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals and a block, plus 6 on the night. No Bolden with sinus troubles. Look, Philly they were kind of toe-to-toe. Gordon shooting the ball well, and then Philly just took it home when they needed to, I think, with it back.
I think they've got a lot more weapons now with Tobias Harris. I think...
Yeah, if he's on song, man, they win very easily.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of tricks in his bag, like a lot of stuff that works with Simmons. Like, I don't think Jimmy Butler's stuff doesn't really work with Simmons. They both kind of run to the post, hang around under the basket, and... Like, Ben Simmons kind of wants to just float around the areas that Jimmy Butler shoots jumpers.
Yeah.
Whereas Tobias Harris, like, you can get him on a curl running down and downhill to the basket.
He's almost better than Jimmy Butler, just like, you create your own shot as well. Jimmy Butler's weird. Like, he doesn't...
Yeah, I can't put a finger on it either. It's weird. He looks good in that Kung Fu headband, though.
He does. Like, that does suit him. But he's kind of like, he's all mid-range game. He kind of just wants to get into areas and shoot it. He's only shooting at 42% or something since he joined Philly, so it's not great numbers. Doesn't really shoot a lot of outside. Gets the line effectively. Facilitates well. His defense hasn't been as good as I think he's known for. And... just when him and Simmons and Tobias Harris is on the floor, it's like, who's going to take the ball? And you want Simmons to take the ball and dish and kick, but then you're only dishing really to one shooter because Jimmy's not really a catch and shoot kind of guy. He catches it in open, but then dribble drives to the basket and often just the play breaks down. Yeah. Whereas that's just the perfect, like, Saric knockdown or Redick knockdown or Shamet knockdown. And
Shaman's looking pretty good for the...
Man, that for 26 pick, he's playing lights out. Well. He did really well. Such a shame he had to go. It's kind of just a Redick clone that we needed that was a bit bigger and didn't get exploited as much. We're going to move on to some salt next.
Yeah, salt.
Ben, bring the salt. I
actually watched this game, I can't do nationally televised games because it's... Like I wrote here, I'll tell you exactly how it went, even though I didn't watch it. Boogie got a bunch of early fouls. Everyone can just grab Steph, and then it's just like the other team gets ahead, and then everything gets a little bit too aggressive, and then it becomes like a game again, and then they can't get there, and it's just like, it's no point watching it. Same shit just keeps happening. And then like good guy Warriors, like the Celtics are struggling. They're in a strong. Oh, they run up a 128 piece on the Warriors. Everyone's back. Gordon Hayward's back, baby. Nice. Just the tonic Gordon Hayward needed. Good guy Warriors. Like, I love it. It's good, but it's the same every time, man. Because 3 or 4 of these games where Boogie, like, he's just not allowed to use his body at all, and then people could just destroy him in the post, and he's like, can I get something? Like, anything? Nah. And then he'll just set a screen, and they're like, nah, legal screen, nah. And you just, like, it just sets him off. He gets even more antagonized. He gets the shit. So, like, he looks good.
It sounds like everyone on Monday Night Basketball.
Yeah, it fully is, man. It's like at the rec center where you're just playing pickup and you want calls, and then people just start getting more and more aggressive. And remember, like, the freedom of movement thing that started at the start of the year?
Yeah.
And it's just disappeared. Like, where did that go? Like, you know, Steph's playing really well at the start of the year, and then suddenly the freedom of movement thing disappears, and it's like, Steph's struggling. What's going on, everyone? Like, ooh, he doesn't like it when it's physical. And it's like, because they're just hanging off him like a cape. Like, what the hell? What can he do? Like, I don't get it. But yeah, that's salt over. Good on the Celtics, man. And Baines, you know, he got into it a bit with Cousins. I love Baines because he's feisty, man.
Yeah, he gets feisty. And he's a big body as well, so you can get into it with the big boys, which is nice. Let's move on to T-Wolves and Pistons. Again, Pistons on another one. Thon, 10 points, 2 offensive rebounds, 2 assists, and a +6 on the night. I think he's well liked at Detroit. Yeah. He's a good hustle guy. Good bench guy to have. Good guy to come off. Luke Kennard, 21 points again.
Yeah, again, man.
He was really scouted by a lot of teams in buyout periods saying, hey, do you want to trade for him? Do you want to trade? And they're like, nope.
What's his story? I don't even know the story behind him.
He's a top 10 pick, I think.
From last year?
Year before last.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so he was there last year and now he's there. Yeah, he's come of age, man. He's shooting, like, catch and shoot.
He's good.
Deadly. It could be a big thing. Like, could be a big thing about for the upset in that East. Just a sneaky.
Well, that was he was part of that. He was part of that sneaky performance where Blake Griffin's ass featured heavily against Philly and they won with no Embiid. I think Blake Griffin had 50 odd points as well. Was shooting lights out, but he was good. Like coming off screens, great shooter.
I think it was back and forth in this game, and that's right. And then Taj Gibson got ejected. Did you see that? He came across the lane and kind of tried to box out Drummond and hit him in the throw. Like Drummond was going down and kind of hit him in the throat a little bit. And then Drummond got up like he wanted smoke real bad. With Taj Gibson's like, "What? No,
I'm old. Leave me alone."
And then he just got ejected, like straight flagrant 2 ejected. So that was I think it was 90-91 I think at that point, and then it was just like they went on a run. Pretty much that was the end of the game. Saric looked pretty good in this game, but man,
Saric's a good player.
Like the whole Philly thing, where
I think if they kept the team together, it'd be a different.
I think if they could have somehow got Harris instead of losing Covington, Saric first.
Yeah,
It's like you fall halfway down the cliff, you hold on, and then you scramble back up, and then you fall down a little bit more, and then you scramble back. Oh, whatever. We at least we didn't die. Sweet. It's kind of like you can't. Yeah. You look back on it and go, oh, you shouldn't have done it like this. But then you look at different options, and it doesn't always work the way you want it to work.
If this team can stay together next year.
Yeah, with Butler?
With Butler?
I don't know if I'd keep Butler, though.
They do. They want to keep Butler.
Yeah, but...
If this team can... I probably agree with a lot of the sentiment. If Brett Brown if he doesn't take them into the second round and deep into or into the final, he's gone.
I don't think so, man. I think they're all in on him. They love him.
I think they do, but it's blatantly obvious that in late game plays, he struggles to find the way to win.
Yeah, true.
I think and in some of his matchups, especially against the Boston Celtics, it doesn't work. So I think that's, I'm all for Brett Brown.
Good dude, though.
He's such a good dude. He's a great coach. I just think that he lacks the death grip. Like Philly should be blowing a lot of these teams way out. Like they've dropped from 3rd to 12th defensively.
They have a lot of late game, like they're up 20. Oh no, they won by 6.
Yeah, they just
a lot of games like that.
They blow a lot of leads, and there'll just be like a quarter where they go cold, and there's just like no shooting. Like they're the number 1 first quarter team in the NBA by a country mile, and yet, they end up on 100 when they're scoring 40 points in the first quarter. It's because that starting 5's great, but then when you get to that bench depth, it's really a bench depth thing.
Yeah, it's like half of the ingredients fell out, and then we're all right. We'll get to the other end, and then we'll sort it out. Like
they picked up a couple of unintelligent players. Like Mike Scott's a good player, but he's not that smart.
Nah, but you get
same with Jonathan Simmons. Like
I like Simmons, but he's good energy at least.
He's good energy. Ennis was good the other night as well, but
even Ennis, something's not right with Ennis.
Yeah. Anyway. Is what it is. We'll move on to the Mavs and Washington. Good win for Washington. No Brokoff. Moving on. Spurs and Hawks. Good, solid win over the Hawks. This is what they needed, was to put a garbage team away. Paddy with 12 points, 2 rebounds and an assist. Aldridge having a great night. White playing well as well. Man, that's just... They're finally able to close out a few crap teams, which is good.
That they were able to just smash the Hawks, because the Hawks are a team that if they get out of hand, it's like, we're down 20. Like, they play that kind of offense.
Vince Carter's coming back?
Yeah, man, what a champ. Every decade or something, 4 decades.
Wow.
It's insane. But what do you do if you still got it, man? You still got it. You may as well keep playing. Like, look at Dirk. You're like, that dude needs to retire, man.
Yeah, Vince Carter's like, he's slow, but he's like, you can still ball. Whereas Dirk's just like,
dude can't run. Like every time, I cringe every time I watch him run. I'm like, it looks like he's hurting bad. Like,
it's the farewell tour. Like, I think Dwayne Wade could probably play 2 years, and 2 years at quite a high, that bench role. But he knows when he's had enough.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, there's more options available now for all these people.
Like, he'll go into a commentary role straight away. He's going to be a Hall of Fame inductee. There's no doubt about it.
Even coaching stuff, like, there's more avenues to go into coaching. Guys want good guys around their franchises no matter what. Not necessarily like head coach type
Yeah.
stuff, but
Mentors,
being around,
mentors.
mentors for like Dirk. How good's this time for Dirk to spend with Luka Doncic and
Kristaps,
Kristaps and stuff like that? Like, it's important for their growth. But yeah, the Spurs doing what Spurs do. Move on to Cavs at Brooklyn.
Indeed. Good win for Brooklyn.
Should we move past the Cavs
We
at
should
Brooklyn?
move, yeah.
Onto the 76ers and the Bulls.
Oh, this was a terrible
And
challenge.
now you get a chance to salt out.
Yeah, this was it wasn't salt.
Nah.
It was poor coaching down the line.
Yeah.
It was, instead of running a play, they just like, here, Jimmy, do something. That doesn't work all the time. You've got a 6'10" point guard run a play.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I understand like the Jimmy Butler clear out experience is great in late games, but like, you've got a 6'10" point guard play a small ball run where he's at the 5. You know, you've got Tobias Harris, you've got JJ Redick running curls around everyone. I'm sure you can do something else than give it to Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I think sometimes when the matchups aren't right, then yep, you want the Jimmy Butler experience. But I think in this game where you put Ben on Lopez and you run ragged around them and you have JJ running circles, someone could have gotten free for a shot.
Yeah, I didn't see the absolute end of this game. I saw some of the game, but didn't see the end.
It was pretty poor defending on Levine is an offensive behemoth. But it seems like every team's good guard just puts up 40 against Philly.
Yeah.
Is
that Simmons related, you think, maybe?
No, because he switches onto the 4.
Okay.
Yeah, he switches onto the 4. And so he's not really guarding the 1.
Because his defense, man, has gotten so much better. Like,
Yeah,
this
it's got.
season
He's
been
I
fantastic.
think he had 4 steals this game. Yeah, he had 4 steals, 7 assists, 11 rebounds, 18 points, 4 from 5 from the free throws. So that's 3 good games in a row where he's shooting, and his shot looks a lot nicer. But yeah, they just seem to really struggle in that last bit. Robert Lopez, for some reason, balled against everyone. Just like back down Amir, back down Bolden. That was the end of the night, really, was Robin Lopez having a field day, which is just terrible.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, it really does hurt. It's like, man, can't we just get someone on this? You know, for me, Bolden's a stretch 4. Like, it's great he can come and give you some minutes at 5, but he's a stretch 4. Put the ball on the floor, get to the hoop, stretch the lane, be that, you know, shot blocking. You know, he runs the guys off the line quite well because he's so long. The amount of times he's blocked people in, you know, the 14-foot mark.
Yeah, he's getting a few good blocks too, like coming over from the weak side. It's got good timing. Yeah,
it's good timing. So, but to me, he's not a 5. He's like a weird Giannis. He's the same dimensions as Giannis. Plays him as a 4.
Yeah.
A 4 that stretches like a 3-and-D 4. But
then you got Embiid, you got Amir Johnson, you got
Boban. So you got 3 guys there anyway. Play him at the 4. What do you got?
Who have you got at the 4? You got
Tobias Harris, Mike Scott, Bolden.
Simmons.
Yeah, but Simmons is kind of that switch 4
It's kind of like, yeah.
Anyway. Salty game.
Yeah.
And we'll move on to the Jazz and Pels.
Again. Yep.
They played like 3 nights earlier and lost, and now they win.
Yeah, in New Orleans.
Yeah, I know.
Joe Ingles, 10 points, 10 assists, double-double for him. Nearly a triple-double, 8 rebounds.
Yeah, wow.
1 steal. Played really well. He just loves that pocket pass, man. Just that one dribble pocket. Hitting Favors a lot, hitting Gobert a lot in this game. Gobert had 22 points, 13 rebounds. Favors has been playing really well.
He has been shooting lights out.
Getting to the basket off of Joe Ingles, those little Joe Ingles step-ins. Pelicans came back from 17 down. Yeah, but we can kind of move on. I'm just worried about Dante Exum, really.
That's it. Well, hopefully we'll get some news. I think he's being reevaluated in a week's time, so hopefully we'll have something then. Last game, big win for the Cavs.
Celtics. Yeah, that was good against Sacramento. Man, Sacramento just fast.
This was the Gordon Hayward
where he
baseline floater.
Yeah, he blew the play, and then it was like, oh no, Hayward, and then oh yes, Hayward, sweet, nice work. Nice little floater at the end. But yeah, Sacramento, the way they clawed this game back, I was like, I don't want to play them in the first round, man.
They can win. They can just come back from nowhere.
They're just no fear, man. Fast, no fear. You know, Buddy Hield playing really well. Even Cauley Stein playing really well. I don't know if Did Bagley play in this game? I didn't see
No,
him
he's out
early
at the
in,
moment. But yeah, he's a
But
big
he's
loss.
been even good, and Harrison Barnes is a
Well,
good
he was
little
the
leader
third
for
pick.
him.
Like, he was this guy that no one's really spoken about. But he was the third pick.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's... he was legitimately the third pick. Because once you do a redraft, I don't know if you're picking him third.
You're not picking him third, but I think you're picking him in top 5, really.
And he filled a need too. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I've always kind of... With the draft, teams choose the type of player that they need first and foremost.
Yeah.
Like, Atlanta wasn't just going to go, Luka Doncic, bang, get him. Or Sacramento, because what if... like Luka Doncic might have had an interview and just been like, there's absolutely no way I'm playing here. Thanks, but no thanks. Like, you know what I mean? So why would you draft someone like that? Like, you wouldn't go, oh, I want that guy no matter what, when that guy's like, I don't want to play here, so don't select me. Like,
see ya.
Like, well, you know, so Bagley, he's done really well, man. He looks good. A lot of good post moves. I didn't expect his post game to kind of translate so quickly.
Yeah.
But we should probably talk about the Celtics a little bit more. Tatum's been looking.
Jaylen Brown locking down defensively. Like, you look at some of his stats. Buddy Hield was nothing. Steph Curry shot 2 of 13 against him. It was like he's really going in defensively. Shout out to my Celtics shirt. Bainesy.
Yeah, nice. Is it Rondo on the back?
Yeah, it's a Rondo on the back,
Old
but we
school.
don't want Rondo. It's old school.
Going old school. Yeah, Al Horford played really well. Al Horford actually played really well against the Warriors the other night too. But yeah, that's about it. That's all the games we got. We got anything else to sort of chat about?
That's it. We're up to date, fellas. We're going to start, obviously, when Bogut comes back on board, wrapping up you Golden State Warriors fans. So check it out. We'll be posting it on the forums.
Yep.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe. You can like us on Facebook. That's always handy. So you get an up-to-date podcasts and news and...
Yeah, so this one was on YouTube stream.
Yeah, this is the first one, live stream. So with the terrible internet we have in Australia, this isn't even coming from our home. It's coming from a mobile.
Yeah, a mobile, logging into a mobile. What's wrong with that? Got to get it done. Just getting it done like the Spurs, mate.
Getting it done.
But yeah, I'm not sure. Like, if we're not getting any coverage or traction on YouTube, we'll just get back to Facebook because it's easier to kind of share around. And a lot more people are centralized on Facebook. But it just kind of feels a need at the moment. Then I don't have to go home and rip a video and upload it.
Exactly. It could be one of those things we do it until we get NBN and we can stream
both
simultaneously.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Take it easy, everyone.
Peace out.
See ya. Bows. Are we non-live anymore?